Hi, Leo. I wanted to introduce you to my little lion. This is Lexi. Say hi, Lexi. And we're going to get into your general messages for the 8th through the 22nd. We're going to let you go over there. Okay. So I'm going to be breaking this down. We're going to talk first about some astrology, then I'm going to do career and money. I'm going to break it into separate relationship read for those of you who are coupled, and then those of you who are separated. I'm going to timestamp below. For those of you who don't want to hang out for the whole thing, that's totally fine. I get it. So let's get into this, the energy for the 8th through the 22nd. I'm ending it there because I want to treat the end of the month separately as the sun moves into Scorpio. But right now, we still have Mercury retrograde, right? And Mercury is going to be retrograde until the 18th. So you might still feel like you're sort of like in limbo, waiting for answers, until everything goes direct. That's okay. But this is for a lot of you, if you feel like you're energetically getting sucked into some kind of argument or getting sucked into some sort of debate, really just pull yourself out of it and just say, like, you know what, I'm going to wait. Just let me just wait a couple of weeks. Now, Saturn is turning direct, which is really, really good. And that's going to be happening on the 10th. But just keep in mind that whenever a planet turns direct, the energy is very, very heightened for a day or two before, a day or two after. And that goes for any planet: Mercury, Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, it doesn't matter. So we have all of this energy that's going to be going direct. So Saturn has been very, very restrictive for you. So now it's turning direct. It's going to help you feel grounded, and bring a lot more clarity to a relationship or where you stand regarding a current situation. Realistic expectations of projects and of people are going to lead to a much happier mood all around, a much lighter mood for you, just sort of moving forward. Now, Jupiter ends its retrograde on the same day that Mercury does, right? Which is the 18th. And so this whole month is just going to feel like finally this, at least relief moving forward. But going back to the 18th, you may be connecting with people and information that help you get closer to your goals, or where it is that you see yourself going, just in general. But it's very much like a slowly but surely kind of thing. You really want to stay focused on that. It's like slow and steady wins the race here. So slowly but surely, clarity is coming to you regarding projects, regarding communication, regarding needing to maybe like edit the final edits on a project, or put the final touches on something that you're looking to roll out, right? This is a really good forward movement kind of energy, and there's a lot of building of faith and relationship that's going to be happening, especially if you've been challenged in this area when it comes to like communication and I really like this energy because you have Venus, right, is going to be in your 5th house. So there's going to be a lot of, first of all, that's going to be in a beautiful configuration with your 1st house of self. It's going to be in a really nice energy. If anything needs to be sat down and negotiated, and belief systems need to be, there's got to be some sort of reasoning out of belief system, who believes in what, or even if it has to if it has to do with anything regarding any sort of negotiation having to do with a project of creativity, of trying to launch something, publish, anything like that. Venus is really beautifully aspected. So even though that Mercury's been retrograde, and there's been a lot of holding back with the Plutonian retrograde and Jupiter, which is about expansion, there is going to be this forward movement. You're going to be feeling it, and it's just going to be much lighter, happier energy. There could be very helpful people that are going to be surrounding you as well. People who are feeling good about being around you, who are looking to make you happy. That for some of you, there might be people coming back into your life, right? Again, I'm just looking at your chart here. You have the 3rd house, right? So the 3rd house is where you have that Mercury retrograde having to do with communication. So don't be surprised if you're hearing from people from the past, or business opportunities are resurfacing. Anything having to do with anything regarding your neighborhood, where you live, any sort of project of negotiation, anything having to do with education. These are things that could be coming back into your life, but in a really nice way. And even with increased family focus as the month advances, your social life is really going to be growing, and the mood is going to be lifting. You're going to find a lot more joy in feeling a part of like this partnership or friendship, where up to this point, it might have felt a little challenging. You weren't sure about it. Now this isn't going to be for all of your relationships, but you're going to become part of something, or feel a little differently about being a part of something that you haven't felt up to this point, which I actually think is really, really nice. Also, this is a great time to work towards some sort of goal that you've been really trying to manifest for yourself. There's a lot of benefit, though, that's going to be offered to you from others. So it could be, if it's not a business partner or an intimate partner, maybe a close friend or a family member, but you're getting some help. There's some sort of help coming to you, which I really like. And the full moon on the 20th, this is going to be a call to expand your interests, your experiences, especially if you've been too focused on your personal life. Like I feel like a lot of Leos have, just because Leos have been kind of going through it in the relationship area. For those of you who are in relationship, or if you're not in relationship, it being in this weird space where you want to be, but either some sort of situation didn't work out, or you're trying to manifest something for yourself. So there's been a lot of focus on the area of personal life. So now it's more about just bringing more experiences to yourself. Like the power of words are going to be very, very strong all month, right? I talked about that last week, having to do with that Mars Cazimi and the fact that Mercury is retrograde until the 18th. And again, as all of these planets come out of retrograde, all of their energies are really, really heightened right now. But this can be a very, very prolific time for creativity, any kind of writing, anything that you are trying to get out there, any sort of for those of you who take part in like speaking arrangements, or if you speak in front of people, or it's going to be a very busy time as far as communication in general. But this can really wake up your need for more spirited activities, more spirited interests. You're really going to feel like you want to take, I'm not going to say life by the horns, but you guys are you are the landlord of the house of fun. So if you haven't been having fun, Leo, it's going to become very apparent to you, because you've been feeling very held back. And now as everything sort of moves forward, you're going to be like, yes, this is life again. And I really want to go out and do and experience and create. And I want to love and I want to feel and I want to do all of that stuff. And you're going to be feeling this very strongly. But the good thing is you're going to be able to. You're not going to feel so held back at this point, so held back. So I feel like that's going to end up ultimately being a good thing for you. So with that being said, I'm going to end the astrology portion, and I'm going to drop down the screen here so that we can pull cards. Again, I'm going to start having to do with your career or money situation, and then I'll move into a relationship. So let's see what we have going on. Career. So, we do have that Uranus and Taurus in that 10th house. You have Virgo, which is all about being of service, in your second house. And you have that Capricorn that rules work in your 10th house with the Pluto energy, which is, going to be going to work. So this is good. All right, let me get comfortable in my chair here. All right, so let's pull a Celtic cross spread. A Leo friend, beautiful 10 of Pentacles. Cute. We have to love that. Yes. Let me pull this up a little bit. I think that's down a little too far. Okay, there we go. Okay, so 10 of Pentacles, very nice. I mean, 10 of Pentacles is about, maturing your money, growing, excellent for money, excellent for if you're dealing with any kind of financial situation having to do with like inheritance, property, selling property, buying property, really nice energy for that. It's Mercury and Virgo. So there's a lot of open communication, a lot of manifesting that's going on here. Very nice energy there. Okay, so we have the Emperor. Okay, so your challenge is the Emperor. So the challenge is maybe for many of you, you may be doing something that you're like, all right, you know what, this isn't bad. It's not bad, but it's really not making me I'm not feeling very passionate about what I do. And that's the thing with the energies that are coming up. As everything lifts and goes direct, you're going to feel very focused on feeling passionate about what it is that you do. You're going to kind of be of the mindset where it's like, okay, you know what? I've been doing this long enough. I've been playing this game long enough. Now I really want to do something that really speaks to me. So a lot of you may be very much in that space, right? With this Emperor energy as the challenge, because this is about leadership, right? This is about you going out and being a leader and taking control and having resolve and having a lot of confidence. And you might not have all the answers, but there's this definitive forward movement. But a lot of you may be in this space having to do with a career or money situation where, your finances might be getting organized, you might be okay, but if you're realizing you're not feeling very passionate about what you want to do. And the other side of that, though, can feel like very stifling. You may feel very stifled. So you're very focused on, having money for your family, having a strong foundation, having money for property, having money, and not to make it all about money, but it's really more about a strong foundation. So your mind is in the right spot, but you're also recognizing that what it is that you're doing right now, you're really not feeling very like bells and whistles about. Maybe you're just going through a rough period having to do with it. Could be. There could be several things going on with that. If it's got to do with finances, this idea of inheritance with the emperor getting in the way. I mean, there might be some sort of tensions that you're dealing with regarding the disbursement of the inheritance. It could have something to do with that. Now we have the King of Cups coming into this energy, which indicates that regarding either somebody at work or regarding some sort of situation having to do with finances, there is this need that exists to settle some sort of conflict. Now, it could be a conflict within yourself or within yourself and with another person, or just with another person, but nonetheless, it's conflict that needs to be looked at. Right now, this is a Libra and Scorpio energy. More specifically, this is about looking at what's fair and what's not fair. That's Libra. Libra is the scales. It's the law. It's the lower courts, right? It has to do with, are things fair? Are things equitable? Are you being paid your fair share? Are the disbursements of the finances regarding that situation being handled in a way that's fair, right? And it's an end Scorpio energy. So Scorpio rules that 8th house, which has to do with like payouts from some sort of insurance settlement, payout for that inheritance situation, payout for that mutual investment, whatever it is. Right? Scorpio rules the 8th house of all of that. Okay. And how fair is all of that, right? How did everything go? So there's this need to settle some sort of conflict having to do with that for many of you. Okay. So having to do with this either inheritance or deepening your, growing your business, deepening connection within business, whatever it is, but you not being comfortable about something regarding that. So we have the King of Pentacles as the basis of the situation. Okay, yeah. So the King of Pentacles, Aries and Taurus energy. So this is, this is a generous energy. Okay, until a certain point. But this energy has no patience for anyone looking to take what's his. So this can be either you or an energy that you're dealing with being kind of maybe funny with the money right now, being very hyper focused on maybe feeling very, very protective of finances, not wanting to share, not wanting to contribute, not wanting to do something like that. You may be dealing with this from somebody else, or you may be actually exercising this energy in your own life. So that could be happening on one end. Now, if it doesn't have anything to do with money, though, this could also show up as an issue where maybe there's some sort of situation going on regarding either a financial situation or something in work where somebody's got to change. Somebody's got to change their approach, and they don't want to change. They don't want to change. So it might not have anything to do with money. It might have everything to do with like, no, I just don't want to do it. I don't agree. There's no, I don't agree that I need to change that way or whatever. Okay. You may be dealing with this because it's the basis of this situation. This could be you, or it could be an energy that you're dealing with. But the bottom line is what is currently going on has to do with the Judgment energy. So there's something to do with the past here that's going on, right? Because the Judgment is a Pluto energy, and Pluto is all about bringing up the past, bringing it, laying it out on the table, and then having a conversation and assessing everything, letting go of the past and making a decision about it, and spiritually waking up and assessing the situation. Now, for a lot of you, you're going to be getting acknowledgement for your success coming in finally. Finances improving finally. For many of you, if it doesn't have anything to do with this and the money has more to do with like a property, you may soon make a decision about a property, or a decision can come in having to do with a property. And it could be a property for a lot of you where you hold some sort of memories. So again, going back to the idea of inheritance, this could certainly have to do with a family home, or it could just have to do with maybe going back and considering maybe purchasing a family home, or purchasing a home that you had at an earlier point in your life that holds a lot of happy memories for you. Some of you may even be thinking about, selling some place that you have a lot of longstanding memories. And that's like a very big decision to make for sure. So, but I do feel like that's going to be the situation for some of you. But again, the judgment energy being Pluto, right? This really is about this idea of assessing, letting go of the past, right? And then acknowledgement coming in. But money is definitely getting better here, Leo. So that is a very big positive. Now, what is Spirit asking to look at as far as the recommendation is the Fool. So the Fool is a Uranus energy. Uranus is all about the humanitarian, thinking about other people other than self, right? Because it sits opposite you, right? You're the landlord of the fifth house. Leo is an energy of a me-based energy, and the 11th house is a we-based energy. So thinking about the big picture, Uranus is a very big picture, very out of the box, very the energy of the humanitarian. For sure, and so when we're talking about career or money, this does indicate a new approach, a new path, some sort of new opportunity. So, and I really like this because this does indicate a new approach to something. So it indicates a change of mindset, a change in how you're strategizing, some sort of situation having to do with money or career. Some of you are going to be getting into a whole new career, a whole new path, a whole new enterprise, or some of you may be deciding to take what it is that you do and do it in a very different way. Now, external to you, we have the energy of the Chariot. The Chariot is Cancer, and Cancer represents home, the idea of home, roots, your first family, the element of feeling grounded. Metaphorically, this could be feeling very grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. And not for you, though, all right? This has to do with other. So this is somebody external to you that you're dealing with in your career or some sort of financial situation. Now, the Chariot is all about, though, keep in mind, the Chariot indicates in numerology, it represents the Tower, right? Which is this necessary surrender. The way things have been up to this point has to stop. And this recognition is coming in from somebody external to you. So it's like somebody coming in and saying, all right, enough. So somebody ending something. The Chariot represents moving away from toxicity. So somebody may be viewing you as toxic, Leo, or there can be this idea of them feeling like they would like to move away from the toxicity with you towards a healthier space. But there is this idea of movement and this idea of feeling like wanting things to be more comfortable for some of you. For others of you, it may literally have to do with an investment regarding the idea of a home or a house or property, okay, that somebody is thinking, but that you need to approach from a different angle or in a different way. Now we have as your personal psychology as your block, we have the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups, Venus and Scorpio energy. So this is about choices and confusion, commitment issues, not being sure what's real, what's not, and just having a hard time with this. Now, the fact that it's in your challenge, there's got to be, what I'm getting feeling here is that there's this call energetically to have some sort of restored sense, some sort of clarity regarding a situation that's going on regarding the idea of money in your life, right? But you're having a very hard time accepting it. And because of that, this is a challenge. It's like you feel there's some sort of new cycle starting. You could feel it. You feel the beginning stages of something. But because you're not sure what's real, what's not, you're not sure what the right thing is, there's some sort of commitment issue, committing to saying, yes, I'm definitely going to do that, or no, I'm not going to do that. And that is really what is in your psychological block, your psychological challenge right now. Now, in the near future, we have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is all about truth, right? I mean, this is being very, very motivated to find out the psychological motivation of other people. This is a very strong energy. It's very experienced, very determined to figure out the truth of a situation, right? It's like, this is the kind of energy that as soon as somebody walks in the room, you have them figured out, you have their motivation figured out. They don't even have to open their mouth, but you're paying very close attention to the motivation of others. Now, the final outcome, we have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is Gemini and Cancer energy, which is nice. This is great energy, actually. But Gemini is about communication. right? And then Cancer has to do with, well, literally home. So if, going back to this idea of this possibly being about a home, communicating in a way where there's a meeting of the minds regarding something, regarding a home, regarding an investment, having to do with that, having to do with an inheritance, having to do with insurance payout. I like this for that, because Cancer is also metaphorically represents what we need to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure, right? So it's going to be communication about it. And there's got to be emotional intelligence exercised here. Now, you may be alone in that boat, or you may not be. So let's just see. Let's pull some clarifiers. King of Swords. Oh my gosh, we got double King of Swords, guys. This is very rare in this deck. So in this particular deck, all the core cards come as male and female. So we have two. It's just like, pay attention. There is a strong alignment here. We're talking about the King of Swords. We're talking about relying on your logic, staying outwardly calm, using sound logic to deal with the situation. Focus on your mind instead of your heart. Don't allow yourself to get sucked up in the emotions. Remember what I said at the beginning of the astrology, with the Mercury being retrograde until the 18th, you're still going to feel like somebody may try to bait you into some sort of debatable issue or some sort of something. Like, step it out. Like, if you feel the wind going in the wrong direction, say, you know what, I really have something to do. Let's take this up later, and try to avoid it until the energies lighten up. But it's definitely about depth, staying very, but it's interesting because I feel like you're dealing with an energy who's doing the same thing, which, you know what, good. Let everybody stick with the facts and stay calm. The second emotions get involved, it gets messy, but then there needs to be a tempering. So I like this a lot, because this is about patience, cooperation, moderation, and reconciling issues that need addressing, so that there could be finally, once and for all, some sort of challenging time period, a challenging situation that you've been going through regarding money or within career, that could be put to rest once and for all. Yeah. Okay, and then we have the other King of Pentacles. So there's going to be a conversation about, well, I don't really feel comfortable about this. I don't really feel comfortable about, paying you that salary or giving you this money, or I'm not getting, there's some sort of condition where it comes, because the King of Pentacles is a bit of a greedy energy. It is. It's Aries and Taurus. It just is. It's this lack of willingness to change, or it's this lack of willingness to be more forthcoming with money, And then we have clarifying the King of Pentacles, though. We have clarifying that in the Ace of Cups, which is really nice, because this indicates a new cycle, brand new cycle, very nice, where there is support that's being offered, something that matters a lot to you finally coming to fruition in a way that's really going to be, that's going to work for you. And not only that, better than that, is going to be fair. We have the Justice energy coming up to clarify that. Right. So this is seventh house energy, seventh house, talking about career and money. This has to do with your clients, your clientele. It has to do with contracts, any paperwork, any kind of contract that involves money. There'll be ending up being some sort of conclusion that is very fair and balanced to all the parties involved, which is very nice, or at least voting in your favor. And then we have the Emperor energy. Yeah, again, so the Emperor came up here again for you. I like this again, because this does indicate, you being a leader in your own life, and you focusing on and recognizing, what are you not feeling comfortable with, and what are you feeling comfortable with, and you deciding between the two, and you cutting out what you're not comfortable with, and moving forward in a way that where that is going to end up inciting a very positive new cycle for you when it comes to money, when it comes to your career, when it comes to connections regarding this financial situation. Because remember, the Emperor being Aries, being ruled by Mars, it's about fresh path, new perspective. And it's about, whatever happened in the past happened. Let's just move forward now. Let's just move forward. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. Very nice. This is nice. This is the energy of productivity. So there's a coming together of body, mind, of spirit. This is a Venus and Virgo energy. So a softening of the problem. Problems are going to be solved, and everything's going to be softened here. So I see it having a positive outcome for you, but it might be a little tense as you're going through it. So for some of you, the money might even have to do with like your partner, right? If you guys are married, it could, again, anything having to do with money. career, insurance payout, some sort of lawsuit, anything like that. All right. So that's what's going on there. So now let's move forward to relationship, for those of you in relationship. We have Pentacles, okay, and Swords. Okay, so obviously not all of you are at the age and stage where you would be considering children. Some of you are like, that ship sailed a long time ago. The shop's been closed for decades, right? But others of you may not be. I mean, coming into this energy, we have the idea of the Empress, which does indicate fertility and pregnancy, but she also is the mother of the tarot. So it does resonate as mother. So there can be some sort of consideration regarding children within your relationship right now, either yours or your partner's children. Or this could have to do with conversations regarding how you guys are going to be able to move forward in your relationship in a way that grows it, right? Maybe getting married or moving in together or buying that house or that opening that business together, whatever it means to you, right? But I feel like there's a lot of conversation about that because we have the 10 of Pentacles as the current situation, which is a will you marry me card, right? I mean, this has to do with family and maturity and a deepening of commitment and shared values and property and legacy and just sharing, and deepening. Again, this idea of family, will you marry me? Let's open a business. Let's do something together, Leo, right? But what's challenging you here, what's working across from you is the Nine of Swords. So there's a lot of anxiety. For some of you, you may be struggling with some depression, having a hard time sleeping. I always call this the 3 a.m. card, where it's like those racing, ruminating thoughts wake us up and we're not able to sleep because your way out of something is not clear to you. You're just not clear on how to handle something. So you may be, maybe second guessing the idea of some sort of commitment that you're making. Some of you may be in that space. Some of you may be in a space where you very much want to grow and you want to have this in your life, but you're not able to bring it to yourself. Some of you may still have your heart, sort of entangled in the weeds with an ex that you want to release, but you might be having a hard time releasing. You might still have somebody else in your heart, but you're promising yourself to somebody else now, and quietly you're struggling with this. So, I mean, this is the different ways that this can show up. Now, the basis of the situation is the Hermit. So Hermit is Virgo, which is all about problem solving, right? So for those of you in relationship, this is this recognition that if you're going to move forward with this person, there needs to be more energy, more effort, and more consideration in how you guys are going to proactively address the issues in the relationship in a way where things can be better moving forward, right? Because there's this recognition of the past cycles in a relationship and are they actually able to end? Some of you may be feeling very lonely even within the confines of your relationship, but the current situation right now is the Ace of Swords. So some of you may be, if you're in relationship, and this is for those of you who are getting over past obstacles and getting what you want and thoughts becoming things, and that's a really, really beautiful energy, but it's only through recognizing that things are going to need to be handled with a lot more decidedness, where there's got to be more intention to focus on the issues, and you're going to need to do it in a different way. This is the recommended approach from Spirit, is take things in a different way. Whatever you've been doing, handle things differently, right? This is really about, for a lot of you, it's a new relationship. And I do want to say we have the Ace of Swords, which can indicate a new relationship, and this can indicate a new relationship as well. After having been alone, after struggling with something that didn't work out. I do want to just say that for some of you. For those of you who are in relationship, I already mentioned that, right? You guys are really trying to work things out here. This is about doing things differently than before. Now, external to you, we have the Strength card, which is your energy here, right? And this is all about you know, probably haven't been tested in your relationship here, right? But things are set to improve, but only if you balance out whatever needs balancing out. Something needs to be balanced out here. Somebody's ego maybe needs to be stroked. Somebody's mind needs to be opened up. Somebody's a little too dug in to the way that they think things need to be. Now, because this is the energy external to you, okay? There's recognition from somebody that you're in relationship with that things need to be balanced out. There's recognition that things haven't been great and things need to be balanced out. But your challenge is the Queen of Cups, internal, your internal psychology. This is a Gemini and Cancer energy. And having this as your internal challenge tells me that you're not feeling completely comfortable with something here, Leo. There's some sort of insecurity. There could be some silently feeling like you're kind of being smothered. There could be some sort of addiction at play here. It doesn't necessarily have to be on your end. It could be on a partner's end. But something is challenging your ability to feel very safe and secure, and you're having a really hard time communicating about it. And in the near future, we have the Five of Swords energy. And the Five of Swords is this recognition that there is a lack of squaring up between what you want to be going on in this relationship and the reality that you're living. But this recognition that you can only control yourself and you can't change your partner and you can't mitigate their stuff. So no matter how loud you yell, no matter how many times you guys break up and get back together again, the arguments, the yelling, the screaming, whatever it is, it's not going to change anything. And you're identifying this as it being primarily them. Not that you're pointing the fingers at them entirely. You're not doing that, but you are recognizing that there's something that this person that you're involved with is doing that is not squaring with allowing the life that you really want moving forward. And no matter how many times you speak to them about it, no matter how calmly, no matter how upset, it's not making any difference. So it really is the energy of, you know what, it really is better to take a step back, walk away with some grace, deal with your anger and disappointment, because you can't fix the unfixable. It's a minor arcana. It doesn't mean forever, but this person needs a little breathing room to see their stuff, it does seem like. And then we have the Page of Wands as the final outcome energy. Passion and motivation is wands, right? So the page does indicate a new cycle here. Now, it does seem like, though, there's going to be a conversation that goes on having to do with the relationship. But I feel like you're dealing with somebody who's rather immature, and what it is that they end up offering to you. You're still going to be interested in being in the relationship, but it's going to be a little underwhelming. It's not going to be exactly what it is that you want. It's just not, it's going to be, yeah, okay. Okay, I mean, we have clarifying this Page of Wands. Okay, so we have the King of Swords, which is an energy that stays totally in the mental, doesn't allow the emotions to get in the way, wants to move away from the toxicity. So this might be you, right? Leading up to this energy where you're in this space where you were like, all right, let me just stick with the facts. I need to move away from the toxicity. I totally understand this. I have to, right? Now, but a lot of you may be unwilling to let go of somebody else from the past. I'm sorry, but I just feel I keep getting this. I'm sorry that this is how the cards are coming out. You may feel unwilling to let a person or a situation go, which creates a lot of anxiety, and a lot of obsessive thoughts for you. And as painful as it is, there needs to be this understanding that something has reached its expiration date, and it's not meant to go beyond a certain point. So you're really better off just sort of, accepting the situation and healing and being really kind to yourself. So kind, but, allowing the healing to happen in layers. then it does seem though like then we have the Page of Cups, allowing a new start in a different relationship. I feel like this is very specific, Leo. But it's like recognizing that something that something from the past didn't happen, didn't work out. And the Mercury retrograde season may just have you very much thinking about somebody from the past, even if you haven't been with them for a long time. The page does indicate a new cycle, right? This is good news about, something within the relationship, either love or something, nice regarding family, something nice like that. This could also indicate a new potential partner being on the near horizon. Could certainly be that. Then we have the Knight of Wands. Quick. This is a very quick energy, right? Proposal, things speeding up, blocks being lifted, decisions coming in. And then we have the Star energy. It's interesting because this is supposed to be just for couples, but I am feeling like some of the couples here it's like, I don't know, I'm sort of getting something didn't work out, so going in a different direction. Some of you are ending something and it's time for you to meet that person that really is your soulmate after you doing some really good work on yourself. Like mastering what it is that you even want in relationship. And then we have the Three of Pentacles, which is all about collaborating, coming together to build and move forward, right? But I feel like some of you may be in a relationship where, all right, I have to say this, right? It's almost like for utility, where it's like, okay, let's work at this together. Let's master, I'm just going to figure out how something needs to work. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm getting a lot of messages right now. Okay, Leo, some of you are having a very hard time getting past somebody from the past who you truly believe is your soulmate, and you truly believe that you guys are meant to be together. You truly do believe that. So for the time, you're just going to focus on yourself and wait and see what ends up happening with that person. Others of you, you're in one relationship, you're missing somebody from your past, or you're feeling very like something's missing in a current relationship, and you're thinking very much about somebody from your past, but you're recognizing that that situation is not good for you, and they're not going to be able to come back. So you're throwing your energies into this other situation where it makes sense, where it's like you guys can work together, and you're just going to throw yourself into trying to make a relationship work because something else didn't work. But your heart's still kind of with this other person, even though this person seems great as well. So I have to get those interpretations out there. Now, finally, for others of you, there is this recognition where the toxicity needs to be moved away from. And you need to recognize that however the relationship's been working up to this point is not healthy. It's just not. No. So there needs to be this very deliberate new beginning, and you guys need to, the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles together here, this really does indicate like therapy, couples counseling, putting a lot of energy and effort into trying to make something work, if you feel like it's worth the effort. So that's the energy that I'm getting here coming up for that. So I hope that made sense. Each of those messages were really, really clear to me. So somebody needed to hear each of them. So now let's go to, let's go to our complicated, yeah, okay. Those of you in separation. So those of you in separation, I'm going to pull some in separation, some tarot, some oracles. Let's see what we got. Okay, now this could be you towards them towards you, you guys towards each other. You guys know how these things go. When we're talking about a relationship read, you have to take it very holistically and apply it to your situation as you see fit. So let's pull a couple of clarifiers on our love was too intense for me to handle. I needed to break away. The Emperor. Wow, the Justice too, very strong, powerful major arcanas. So when we're talking about the Emperor is, there's this need to, first of all, I feel like Leo, either you or an energy that you're dealing with, we're feeling very viscerally about focusing on the idea, were things fair, were they not fair, were everybody's emotional needs being met? How is everybody showing up? But I do feel like somebody wants to have this win-win situation with you, because the Emperor really is about having, being with somebody who has shared values and being able to sit down and openly discuss moving forward in the relationship in a way that's fair, in a way that's balanced, in a way where that's equitable, where everybody's showing up in a very equitable way, but things need to be equitable. Like it can't, no one-way streets, right? No one-way streets. Our beliefs were just too different. I couldn't reconcile mine to yours. Ace of Coins and Five of Swords. Yeah, so it does seem like there was definitely a lack of agreement having to do with money, finances, financial situation, the whole idea surrounding the idea of career, of making money. If it didn't have to do with that, it has to do with connection, because the Pentacles is also mental, physical, and emotional connection. And with the Five of Wands, maybe there was a lack of agreement as far as intimacy, as far as communication, as far as, anything besides, it could be money, but it could be anything besides money. But this fight about what would, this is almost a frustrating energy for me to feel, because there are a lot of emotions here, but there's a lot of ego and a lot of fear here, and a lot of being dug in, a lot of misunderstandings, and not full willingness on both sides. Like I feel like there's it's like somebody is just not willing to show up in the way that's necessary to actually make the relationship work. And that could be really challenging. When times got tough, I gave up too soon. We have the Wheel came up reversed though, which is interesting, right? Very interesting, because I feel like they may feel like they're experiencing a lot of bad luck right now. They're in the middle of a really challenging time period. Or this could be you even, but there's this idea of experiencing closure in some way. Some of you may experience this as having a lack of confidence, right, in your intuition and your decision-making skills, and they may be experiencing this. The whole idea here is you have to resolve, right, in your own mind, to work very honestly with the situation, and figure out what worked and what didn't work, and just be really honest about that, and recognize that maybe it's better if you guys didn't reconnect right now, at least not right now, because of it's too toxic the way that it's been. And in the Ace of Swords, this is a powerful energy, because this is about, for relationships, it's about getting over past obstacles and getting what you want, and thoughts becoming things. But there's got to be this release though, this recognition. Like if things are not going well for you or for them, why? And look at that, and look at where, there needs to be this release in order for, see, it's like, if in order for things to work out for you guys, there's got to be a release of some sort of toxic mindset. And I feel like it's got to be like, it has to do with who shows up in what way regarding the relationship. And I know that sounds very general, but it's actually not. As you can look at it within the realm of money, you can look at it within the realm of intimacy, within communication. Where was somebody not showing up enough, where it was big enough? Because I don't feel like it was in many areas. I feel like there was a specific area where somebody was digging their heels in and just would not show up in a particular way. Like they wouldn't get the job, or they wouldn't address some sort of issue that was getting in the way of intimacy, something like that. It could be you, it could be them, something like that. Let's pull some of the oracle here. A leg up, getting some help. Getting some help, a leg up. some relationship reads, obviously, that typically means either seeking some sort of counseling, or doing some sort of, workshop together or something like that, but somebody needs help within a situation here. And there's got to be this be decisive energy. So somebody might want to show up. Somebody might want to show up with bells and whistles on, but they really don't know how to get out of their own way. They really don't. They want to, but it's like they struggle with analysis paralysis. They're struggling with feeling less than. They're struggling with something, but they need help. But it's this idea of there's got to be this decided attitude that if this is going to work, we need help. We need to move forward. We can't go back to what it was. We may need help moving forward if this is actually going to work. So that's what the cards came out for this particular time period, this little time period in October of 2021. Let's see what rolls out next time. But for now, that's what we have for the archetype of Leo. You want to make sure that you check your rising sign, your moon sign, and your Venus sign as well for the most complete messages. And for now, Leo, that is what I have for you guys. I thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you guys next time. That is all for now. Okay, let's see if we can figure out how to, there we go. Let me just bring this down, and there we go. Awesome.